Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Obscura. In the last episode, we went down into this cavern called the Marketplace, I think, where everybody wears masks and you can buy weird shit. And we're going there because we want some, basically, god blood from the lunar god. And we met some priest dude. It's been a couple days, but I remember that. And we have a condition and I don't know what it is, and things are a little weird, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. So if you do enjoy this episode, remember to like and subscribe, and we'll just head into this. Where's my mouse? Let's load. We're back in, oh yeah, the bed and breakfast place we're staying with the guy has a bat. Before I know it, it's the next day, and I've barely gotten a wink of sleep. Bruna stops by with the usual breakfast chatter, but my mind is elsewhere, and all I want is answers. Eventually, I'm back at the door of the lunar church. Something about them beckons me. A deep magnetism that draws me straight through the entrance without a second thought. There's different incense wafting around today. It tickles my nose with notes of mahogany and velvet. Oh yeah, his name is Cyrus, right? I expect to see Cyrus in the same spot as yesterday, but I find him further in this time, with an unmasked woman kneeling before him. It takes me a moment to understand what's happening. The priest doesn't say a word. His stature is imposing and almost regal, particularly towering over the other person. Completely different from yesterday. What's happening? I can't really make out what he's saying, but she doesn't move, and eventually his hand finds the way to the top of her head. Perhaps he's blessing her. Oh my god, is he giving a blowjob, is he? You don't want him, you know, please say no. I cannot be walking into a church where a priest is getting head. That's unfathomable, right? Let's see. Wonder why the atmosphere is so heavy in here. Oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah. I decide to hang back. Me too. Me fucking too, girl. I'm with you on that one, girl. We're gonna hang back here. It's not my place to interrupt whatever ritual may be going on. That's what I'm saying. My eyes rove over the decor instead, specifically the paintings and the detailed scenes they depict. I'm concerned right now. Massive oils on canvas, crackling with age at the edges. The large one shows the two gods at opposite ends, dancing around the earth in harmony. Their arms reach out for one another as their endless rotation continues on until the collapse of the universe itself, unable to ever reunite. A little sad. Erica. I forgot we named myself Erica. I wish I would have not done that. I don't notice him approach. Cyrus' tone is warm and comforting. The smile right under his mask peeks out, as usual. It is as though the ceremony from earlier never even happened. Hey, I'm back. Didn't want to disturb you back there. Back there. Oh. He tilts his head, lips stretching into a mysterious smile. Did I make you curious? Did I make you curious by any chance? About the ceremony? Yes. Yeah! What the fuck was happening? Please. You both seem so serious. Don't think I ever seen anything like that. There's a pleased rumble coming from his chest. She was readying herself for something important in her life and needed some reassurance. So she turned to the lunar god itself and demanded she be fully cleansed. His dick cleansed her? I don't know why I'm thinking that it's his dick. I'm just saying, from what I would see, if it was me, he was cleansing her with his dick. And I don't know if that's appropriate. Why? Simply though she may, simple so that she may begin that chapter with a clear conscience. More than I can, more than that I cannot say. Privacy and such. That's fine. Thanks for explaining. Either way, I'm sure you didn't come here just to spy on me and the paintings. This comment makes me smile. Maybe I did. If I could see his eyebrows, the tone of his voice suggests that they be raised right now. I guess you're right, though. I'm in need of advice. Pause. My star, nothing pleases me more than knowing you feel comfortable enough to come here for help. Cyrus comes closer, and from the first time I take notice of his height compared to mine. He's got to be at least a full head taller. Baby girl, if it was me, he'd be more than full head. He look like he a tall man. Tall man. I am 5'3" on a good day. What can I do for you? I hesitate, unsure if he really should be trusted or not. I'm looking for something. Lunar ichor, to be specific. Something in his demeanor shifts when he hears this. You're sure? Quite sure. That's quite the task. What do you need such a precious resource for? Nosy old... Oh. Oh, I see. Fractum anemia. I thought that illness had very well vanished from this world. His words startled me as I instantly stared up at his face, hoping to catch a glimpse in his eyes through the holeless mask. The only better way to ascertain if he's telling the truth, if he actually knows what he's talking about. But I see nothing, of course, only the intricate embossing on the metal surface. He knows the name of my illness. Wasn't expecting that. How do you... I've encountered it before, though it remains exceedingly rare. As is the cure, of course. I assume you've asked around and seen for yourself. Weight of the situation returns to me. My chest feels like it's being crushed. I know. I feel him place his hand on my head to give me a gentle pat, a compassionate gesture. Then the same hand trails down the cup of my cheek over the masked surface. The sudden intimacy of the gesture makes me jolt. My star. What if I told you there might be another way? Under the privacy of my mask, my eyes go wide. Impossible. I wouldn't be so sure. The lunar god is benevolent, wondrous being. Goosebumps erupt all over my skin and my heart leaps into my throat. It's too good to be true. It has to be. There's no way he would have the answer right here. I can't stop staring at him, waiting for him to elaborate. Cyrus' other hand captures my other cheek in his cheek so my head is cradled in his embrace as his voice drops an octave. I can't do that, sorry. Shivering. Time around us seems to come to a standstill. What is happening? This is very intimate for a priest. I'm not mad. I'm not mad, though. Making me thirsty. I shall take a drink. I'm just hit the enter button. I'm gonna put the mouse over here. I don't have the cure here. Not yet. But I want to help you. I see how brightly you shine, and how much you want to overcome this. I can never turn a blind eye to the kind of hunger for life. Will you let me help you? Erica? Disturbing. It's disturbing that he said my name. I can't accept. Yeah. Yes. Yes or yes. I'm gonna take the bold yes. Of course, Cyrus. How can I thank you enough? I need nothing. I'm simply performing my duty, and knowing that it may save someone makes it all the more rewarding. I'm in disbelief. There has to be a catch here somewhere. I need to know the details. But he's been so kind to me. I have a hard time doubting the validity of his claims. Cyrus readjusts his gloves with a practiced movement. I need a bit of time. Getting a hold of this substance is no easy feat. The disappointment in his tone is obvious, and I believe him. Even for someone with more influence, There's bound to be obstacles in the way. How will you get a hold of it then? Have you heard of the lunar god's healing prowess, my star? He turns to face the giant statue surrounded by candles and motions for me to follow. I have? And how much do you know about it? As we both come to a halt, heads tilted up to get a full view of the statue and its surroundings, I respond with silence. Long ago, it was said that priests were able to receive a sample of the blood that flows in these higher beings' veins to save their people. That is the Ichor that we know of today. Here, concentrated life force infused with their powers. In this case, healing powers. But there is no reliable way to get a hold of it in these days. I hold my breath. That being said, this blood had once been taken and thoroughly analyzed by a man who then went into hiding. Rumor goes that he left all his notes behind after passing away. I gasped, pleased my lips. You're saying we could find those notes and replicate the composition of real lunar ichor? Precisely. My mind goes into overdrive. How could this be the first time I've heard of this? Where do you know all this from? Cyrus smiles wide. This man went by the name of Nexus, and he was a fellow priest from this very church. This has to be too good to be true. It's just not possible. How? Please rein in your expectations, Erica. As he uses my name, the timbre of his voice turns serious once more. I did not know him well. Few people did. He was a reserved person with not much to his name. Finding his residence, or wherever he may have hidden his secrets, is bound to be a difficult task. I'll need all the help I can get. And even once we find these notes, there is no guarantee we'll be able to replicate it with the information we have, nor that someone will do it. The knot returns to my throat, but I have more to cling on to than when I first arrived. Better to try than do nothing at all. Indeed. Something grabs a hold of me. Determination, unlike any I've felt before. Hope soothing my heart. Even if it's just for a little bit, I can't quite let my guard down fully. But this is the first step. Eventually we fall into silence and we stare back up at the statue. Just checking, but it's not easy as just pretty please and then having the ichor appear before us. He chuckles. Unlikely. But if you'd like to offer a prayer, that will always be encouraged. I contemplate the idea. Sure, why not? It can't hurt, but I'm not sure how to. I don't know any lunar prayers. Allow me to guide you, my star. I nod. His shadowy mass turns my way, lips set in a neutral line. On your knees. Oh! Look at my blanket. What? On my knees? Right here? Right now? Just the two of us? He's playing, right? Can't be for real. Okay, anyway. The usual warmth of his voice is completely stripped from his command, and I very quickly realized this must be the mindset he was in earlier, when he helped to cleanse the other woman. Oh, Lord. Lord. For now, I obey. Shoulders straight. Hands together. The words are efficient and utterly nonsense. Utterly no nonsense. It's easy to tell he's done this a million times. Chin up, Erica. Do not hide your face from the lunar god. Expose your emotions. I feel vulnerable, protected, annoyed. Sure. Pleasure. It's strange, but my body flushes as he shifts in tone. I mean, that's what's happening to me right now. My cheeks are a little warm. Being commanded like this makes something deep inside me unfurl. Same girl. She's just like me. Oh, wait, she is me. Everything subsequent... Every subsequent breath I take fills me with warmth, and every next order makes my skin tingle. My mind is so acutely receptive to every word he says. You're almost there. Simply repeat after me, my star. I don't know if he puts his hands together as well. I don't dare look back, but he begins a short prayer, speaking solemnly and clearly. I repeat the words after him, again and again. We fall into a trance, and with that, I hope that my pleas reach the moon. You did excellently, my star. He bends down to my level where I gaze up at him, mind still fogged up by the experience. I am so proud of you. No doubt they're honored to have received such a heartfelt prayer. I'm still in a haze. Words don't really want to come out. All I do is listen and subconsciously lean towards Cyrus. When I try to open my mouth to say something, his gloved thumb slips under my mask to push it up ever so slightly, just enough to reveal the lower part of my face under the nose. Allow me. I would never have allowed anyone to do this to me under any other circumstance. But in this moment, I trust him enough to see this small part of me, and his fingers sweep over my lower lip. I can barely suppress a whimper. Oh, this is like the shit I read in books. All right. It's a little tame for what I read in books, really, though. Easy. His smile stretches into a pleased grin. You're going to be all right. When the door of the church starts creaking, his hands wraps around mine to help me up, and as a couple of visitors begin filtering, the spell is broken, and I snap out of it. My star? Yes, I'm okay now. I shake my head and concentrate on staying upright. My inner clock tells me it's time to head back. Thank you for today. I'll come back tomorrow so we can start searching. By all means do. I'll do my utmost to find any leads and let you know if there's anything to work with. We share a quiet smile. Get home safely, Erica. Stop saying my name. I mean, you stop saying my name. I leave the church and step outside, right back into the darkness. On the way back to the Leaping Bear, I stop at a food stall for some hearty potato soup and allow myself to take a bit of time to relax. I don't think I'll ever truly get used to not seeing the sun, but I'm starting to warm up to the underground as a whole. Halfway through another sip, I think back to what happened at the church. My cheeks flush red under the mask. I feel guilty for thinking about Cyrus in a sinful way. I don't want it to happen again. I love that shit. I can't help it. I want it to happen again. I still feel pressure on my lips. Obeying him felt easy, natural almost. The haze that came with it felt potent as one of the apothecary's painkiller vials. I don't even think I care that he's a priest. Either way, I have to come to terms with what happened, and I need to calm down. After loitering around for just a bit longer, I pay for my soup and begin the long detour back. Passing through the marketplace so many times means that I've started becoming a familiar face, and that in turn I recognize some of the owners. Still looking? Unfortunately, yes. I'll keep my eyes peeled for you. The owner of the bookstall nods in my direction, and I know without a doubt he will. Like many others setting up shop here, he can be a treasure trove of rumors and information. Say, could I ask you something? Depends what it is. Have you heard of the priest going by the name of Nexus? The shopkeeper falls silent in thought and drums his finger on the surface of the wooden display table. Can't say I have. Why? Already passed. I keep my intentions vague, and if he notices, he doesn't press it. Not exactly an uncommon occurrence around these parts. Thanks anyway. Today's search is unsuccessful yet again, but I don't let it bother me. After all, I have Cyrus's lead. Just as I'm about to turn back towards the inn, I narrowly dodge bumping square into someone's chest. Oh, fancy-looking stranger. Yeah, why does he look so fancy? Is he handsome? I bow my head in apology, but the stranger fumbles back, distraught. Oh, no, dear. I hope I didn't startle you. All good here. Are you okay? Please, don't worry about me. I should be apologizing instead. I'm not sure how I feel about the sudden outburst. When I take their appearance, I instantly know it's one of the noble sons from the surface. His skin sports a rich, sun-kissed glow that almost makes me envious. The high quality of his suit's fabric and the elaborate piece of jewelry don't lie either. They're selected with obvious care and attention to the outfit as a whole. Even the mask is perfectly coordinated with the rest of his suit. That's not necessary. I'm fine, look. I hope my hands to show no harm was done. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I sure am glad. I hope we'll meet again, if you don't mind me saying. You're a very kind person. The person takes my hand and brings it to the lips to it. An old-fashioned custom at this point. I'm surprised to see anyone still doing such a thing. Thanks. There really is no need for this, but thank you. My pleasure. At first glance, he's an easily frightened sort. I'm not sure how much of that is genuine. But please take care and allow me to make up for it to you someday. The person quickly excuses himself and I'm left baffled. The underground truly is a strange place. The testament of how many different people congregate down here. But you never really know who you're talking to after all. I shake the thought from my head and finally find way back to my room, where the bed welcomes me after a strange day out. It's funny how familiar the end room has become, too. Even seeing Rufus's face and his bloodied weapon every day has become something of a comfort. I'm sure that eventually the church will feel the same. We can go a little bit longer. I was just making sure. That same church is empty the next day I step inside. There's nothing but the echoes of my own calls for Cyrus and the flicker of candles around the statue. For a while, I simply wait in front of the altar. 5 minutes turn into 10, which turn into 20. At this point, I'm pacing around the candles, wondering where he is. Didn't he say he might have some information today? Curiosity and boredom take me to the back of the church, where I've seen ornate doorways lead to who knows where. Maybe they're his chambers. That's when I hear it. The muffled shouts. The left door slightly ajar as I peek past it, and discreetly as I can muster, I finally catch a glimpse of Cyrus. And he's not alone. What's happening? There's a strained tension in the air, one far more prominent than yesterday, and it draws upon me. As I lean further against the wall, he's genuinely angry. The usual smooth, silken tone of his voice is raised toward the person in front of him. I don't know who it is, but they have their hands raised defensively, and their own words come out with much difficulty. But do better, I promise. Please, just give me time. That is not a good... that is not good enough. The venomous hiss makes me jump. I've never expected to hear this kind of anger coming from a priest of all people, on holy ground no less. I can't speed up the process, not anymore. They'll be on to me. I'm sorry. Show me that you're sorry. A shiver runs down my spine. What is happening right now? Cyrus expectantly hands the person in front of him something that gleams in the candlelight, pale and deathly. It's a blade. My body immediately tenses at the sight, and my heartbeat skyrockets. I have to do something. Is this even safe to interfere? Shit, what do I do? Confront him after the person leaves. I want to see if he can murder somebody. I can't move. I'm too paralyzed by the sight in front of me. How could this be happening? The person now wielding the knife holds in their hands as they would a precious jewel, and looks up to Cyrus. The voice trembles. Right here? No, you're right. In front of the statue would be more fitting setting Let me get more fitting setting for this. Fuck. Shall we? Yes, by all means. In my panic, I tried to shuffle back noiselessly, but one of my steps nearly fumbles, allowing the clacking sound of echo freely between the walls. Who's there? It's too late to run. What they find, just as I'm about to make a run for it, a hand clutches the fabric of my robe. Hard. Never seen this person before. No matter how much I struggle, there's no time. In just a few seconds, I'm face to face with Cyrus himself. If I didn't know better, I say he's stunned to see me. He nods once at the other person's direction, proceeds to drag me through the doorway, and unceremoniously tosses me into the room. Erica? Cyrus' voice turns back warm, comforting one. To the warm, comforting one I've always heard. Right now, I don't know if I trust it. You shouldn't be here, my star. I'm simply taking care of some sensitive matters. You have to understand. Sensitive matters, really? You gave him a knife, and one that he's going to use on himself? On himself? He pauses. I think you have the wrong idea. What I gave him was not a weapon, but a ritual dagger. One used in the elaborate dance and rituals of repentance. I'm left utterly speechless. I stare at Cyrus, then back at the trembling person. When I ask them if it's true, they nod. I think I should leave. I think you're staying right where you are. When I gaze up at the priest, he's smiling in a way that gives me chills. Leave for now. We'll continue this later. He dismisses the shivering person without much of a glance in their direction. They immediately obey and scuttle off. Then the door shuts behind us, and when I ask why Cyrus is locking it, he gives me no answer. Oh my god, we're getting murdered in the first part of the game? He tucks the key away in a pocket, and with that, there's no way out. When I refuse to look up at him, his fingers grasp my chin with a surprising strength and force me to meet his masked gaze. Do you make it a habit of snooping around and eavesdropping like this? Usually I don't have to. And then I heard shouting. You poor thing. The smile twists cruelly. I did keep you waiting for quite a while. Did you miss me? I'm not sure what's making my heart rate faster right now, the adrenaline or the fact that he's so close. True? No matter. I'm going to teach you some manners. Listen. Listening in on important conversations is very, very naughty. Excuse me? I need the safe word up there. He steps even closer, completely suffocating me with his presence. Have you ever been punished before, my star? I've never been punished. What is happening? Is this a BDSM game? No one told me. No one fucking told me. I mean, the safe word should have told me, but no one told me, and I'm not old enough. In my old ass age, I am not old enough. I'm just a child. Just a 32-year-old teenage girl, please. What? Punishment? Yes. I don't think it's something adequate for a little eavesdropper like you. Of course, since this is your first infraction, I'll go easy on you. My penance is of utmost importance down here. And I think you best keep that soul of yours unblemished. Unblemished is the word we're looking for here, ladies and gentlemen. I feel something inside me shiver at the thought. His words sound like the most delicious promise, one that I'm all too happy to help fulfill. Yes, I'm... Hush, little star. Oh, Lord. As much as I enjoy the sound of your voice, you really do talk too much. He takes a step back, finally allowing me a bit of personal space. And then he immediately turns around and makes his way to the minimalist wooden shelves in the corner of his room. There's barely anything in here, save for sleeping arrangements and some storage. His shelves, on the other hand, are crammed full of jewelry, books, and small, neatly labeled vials. It's the vials he's aiming for. As a long digit reaches out to brush over one of their corks. What is in a vial? I'm wary of his every move. He's gonna poison me? Game turned unsexy instantly. He's poisoning us. We're dying. And when Cyrus is back in front of me, two of the mysterious vials in hand, I tense up. I'm aware the situation may have you a little on edge, but I need you to trust that this is for your own good. His expression falls, and in that moment, I wish I could see his eyes. What would I find if I looked deep within? But the more I think about it, the less I understand. Please. For the first time, I hear him beg me. Completely alien feeling. What do you have there? I try my hardest to keep my voice neutral as I ask. Cyrus pops one of the vials open with nimble fingers, releasing a sudden waft of strong, honey-like aroma. Cloyingly sweet, almost coating the back of my throat from the smell alone. I think we're staring at each other now. The intensity makes my hair stand on end. Raise your mask and open your mouth. You're just gonna put it in my mouth? Okay. Okay, sure. We're obeying. I hardly understand myself right now. I'm just allowing myself to be poisoned. You guys know? Anything for a long silver-haired man. You know? Anything. I hardly understand myself right now. I may as well have asked one of the thieves to watch over my purse. It's true. But something tells me Cyrus doesn't want to kill me. No, if he did, he would have done it so earlier. His intentions, although I failed to understand them, are not evil. So I undo the clasp of my mask and tilt my head back, lips parted. Perfect. So very perfect. Oh, Lord. Such an obedient little thing. He approaches and the first tickle of liquid hits my tongue. The nectar is just as thick as initial smell, but now it runs over my taste buds. I'm overwhelmed by a flowery syrup aftertaste. I feel like it's sticking to my lips like a glaze, and then it continues pouring. It trickles down my chin. Oh, Lord have mercy. What the fuck? It doesn't taste bad, but something feels off. As the liquid settles in my stomach, it feels strangely aware of everything. The way my nails scrape over the skin of my palms, the way my chest expands with every breath, the fragrance of the incense, and how it clouds my mind. I promise you, it's just temporary. He speaks a soothing measuring way. Oh, what's temporary? Cyrus' hand rests on my shoulder, and while I feel every single digit through the cloth, the sensation of him trailing those fingers down the length of my arm should just elect a small shiver. Instead, that feels like sharp, cold waves of that borders on actually painful, taking me entirely off guard. My breath catches in my throat, and even the feeling like that overloads my sensations, like claws digging around my lungs. There's an affectionate linger under the cruel curve of his lips, and it takes everything in my power not to make any sudden moves. Now, the sooner you complete your task, the better. You'll see, it's not too difficult, and the lunar god will be so very pleased with you. He's taking his time, walking in circles around me, observing me. You're going to do so wonderfully. I notice amidst the panic that the second vial in his hand contains uncooked rice. But why? Yeah, but why? Is he gonna make me pick up rice off the floor? He pries the cork off the top. With a tilt of his wrist, he empties the container onto the vial, showering the wooden floor and tiny pale grains. I knew it! Huh? I hate that I feel afraid to ask what it's for. Knees. He whispers, and I know it's not an order I can defy. The moment my knees reach the floor, the rice digs into my skin, and I instantly understand. My legs feel like they're on fire. The individual grains push further into my knees. With a muffled curse, I try to adjust my position. What the fuck is this? Just as I shift to look up, the sight the sight of Cyrus holding an actual leather flogger makes me release a strangled sound I didn't know I was capable of making. No, no, no. Easy there, easy. You're going to do it yourself. It won't be so bad. After all, you're the one who must repent. I take a deep breath. Careful breath. What if I refuse? Cyrus chuckles, but it's devoid of warmth. And then I suppose I'll have to take the matters into my own hands. Can't have my little star ruining her chances. Ah! Have Cyrus do it. What if I want? What if what if I want you to do it? What am I reading? My own voice surprises me. I feel my face heat up under the mask. Okay, I need to get it together. His expression is utterly indecipherable until a strange grin tugs at his lips. Sweet little star. Get away from me. This is not for children. His voice thickens. I didn't take you for a... Okay. I know the word. I am saying it in my head right now, but I can't say it out loud. Masochist. There you go. It finally came out. You never asked. I'll be sure to reward that honestly. Honesty. Plenty. Oh god. Oh lord, what am I looking at? Bruh. He handles the flogger with experienced grip and doesn't take a genius to see he's done this plenty before. All I can do is stare at the tail swaying around, prepare myself for the impact. Well, we'll start with 10. I close my eyes, but no amount of deep breaths or mental preparation ready me for the impact between my shoulder blades. My vision goes white and my mind-shattering pain explodes all over my back. It's unlike anything I've felt before, and it takes everything in me not to scream. The next hit comes sooner than expected, just as a few centimeters lower, enough to revive the previous surge of pain. Alongside that, the rice continues to dig further into my knees. This time, I scream. Perfect. Suffering for your wrongs is completely letting go. What a wonderful sight. Another 2 hits of the flogger make me choke back sobs. I'm so proud of you. He mumbles a few words in a language I don't understand under his breath, giving me a moment to curl up and brace myself for another hit. But Cyrus isn't having it. Sit up, Erica. When I refuse to budge, still trembling with the aftershock of pain, his fingers hook the collar of my cloak and tug. They pull up further and further. Before long, I'm gasping for air and clawing at his hands. Cyrus! I said, sit up. My struggling only serves to please him further. At this point, I'm desperate for all of it to stop. I nod and fight through the sensations until he releases my cloak, after which I fall back to my previous position on my knees. Everything aches deeply. There's 6 more to go. I can make it through. I just need a bit longer. But the next hit comes far too soon. I'm screaming again, the force of resonating in my vocal cords. Each individual tail's flick leaves trails of fire searing across my back. As the flogger traces a figure 8 across my skin, my throat tightens up. Please, God. I feel warm tears dripping down my face. I take a deep, he takes a deep, satisfied breath. That's it. Beg for forgiveness. By the time I receive the final hit, my vision goes blurry and I realize my senses are dulling again. A pleasant numbness washes over me. What are playing/reading. Darkness quickly engulfs my senses. I'm unconscious long enough to realize that my body has already collapsed onto the floor. By the time I come to, I'm surrounded by the smell of cotton and I feel something warm and soft on my arm. It's just the right lukewarm temperature, something like a damp cloth gently dabbing away at the sweat and grime on my skin. I keep my eyes closed, fearing it might stop if I happen to open my eyes. The cloth is removed and I hear the sound of water dripping. When the sensation returns to my other arm, I almost exhale in relief. It feels so comforting that I'm tempted to drift off again. It's when the cloth runs up the side of my neck that my breath hitches. Are you awake, little star? Darn. I decide not to respond. His thumb crawls up to rest over the edge of my ear. With a deliberate, slowly ghostly touch, he runs it around the shell until he reaches the lobe and gives it a pinch that makes something inside me tingle. Your body is betraying you. Open your eyes, Erica. Talk about playing dirty. I shift on the mattress underneath me. Do all priests make it a habit to fondle their visitors during their sleep? Mouthy for a moment from the moment you wake, I see. I bite back a response and take a moment to reassess my situation. The effects of the syrup have long since worn off, though I'm left with a little sensitive sparking up here and there. Do you want some water? His sudden kindness surprises me this time, and I nod in response. I hadn't realized how parched I really am. Wait here. Cyrus quickly makes his way out of the room, leaving me alone and disoriented. I need time to organize my thoughts. So do I. So we're going to end it here. Here we are. Use my keyboard for this. Oh, I'm going to throw shit all over my desk too. I need time to organize my thoughts. About that punishment, for example. After all, I now know for certain what kind of person Cyrus is. It was very enjoyable. I can't believe I'm saying this. But it wasn't bad. No. On the contrary, I felt freed from everything in that moment. I still feel a warm afterglow on my back, and I'm sure that if I saw myself in the mirror, I'd be reddened from each hit. The idea of having those kind of marks that almost label me as if his is really nice. Lower my hood while he's gone, allowing myself a little freedom to move. I'm tempted to remove my mask, but it doesn't feel like the right time. I can't show Cyrus more of my face. My head is still swimming, and more questions continue to pop up one after the other. I doubt that all followers of the lunar god engage in this kind of behavior, unless the underground is a fair bit kinkier than I anticipated. Actually, not very surprising. But that still begs the question why Cyrus is having me undergo this. Personal satisfaction? A genuine desire to follow some obscure commandments? Questionable morals? Before I can come to any kind of conclusion, he's back with a tray, carrying a pitcher of fresh water and what looks like chocolate? Correct. He hands me a little tray and I inspect the contents. This better not be spiked again. It won't be unless you give me a reason to, little star. I'm not sure if he's joking or not. Reassuring. I take a swig of water, letting it soothe the back of my throat before I reach for the square of chocolate. It's dark with an uneven surface. When I bite into it, I'm surprised by the hint of lavender and Earl Grey that melts in my mouth. Little grains are spread throughout the chocolate. With each bite, they release a burst of flavor. Volunteers sometimes come help with the food. And on the good days, there's leftovers. I'd get used to this. We sit in silence for a while, until I set the platter aside and shuffle into a better position against the headboard. How's your back feeling? It's okay. Actually, it feels kind of nice. It's not painful. I'm having a hard time gauging his reaction. Then his lips tug into another calmer smile. It's my duty to make sure that you're all right. That being said, I have a question for you. Do you need any more aftercare, Erica? Huh? I want a hug. I want a warm drink. I want to be left alone. I want a hug, my sir. You just beat me and now into a pleasurable state and you don't want to hug me? Boy, you better get in here and hug. I want a hug. I think I deserve one. Silence follows, but surprisingly Cyrus complies and sets himself at the edge of the mattress. When I reach my arms out for him, he reciprocates. I find myself leaning in, resting my forehead on his shoulder while his gloved hand rubs soothingly circles across my back. The scent of cotton seems to come from him, a surprisingly gentle one, mingling with the incense and candle smoke that I've now grown accustomed to. It's a strange feeling, being physically close to someone you're not entirely sure you trust. We share bodily heat, and I feel the hard planes of his body against mine, and I find myself lowering my guard. Eventually, our heartbeats match, although all throughout our embrace, I never turned to look at him. I don't know what would happen if I did. We stay like this for a while. Didn't think you were one for hugs. People need physical touch. It's essential to our well-being. I don't think there's any shame in indulging that. He sure loves his roundabout answers. After a few more seconds, I let go. You need anything else? Warm drink instead of water. I want to be left alone a bit. I want an extra blanket. I need a warm drink. It's a little chilly here. Let's see. I'll fetch you something. He's gone for a while again, allowing me to even more time to wonder if this is why he's being this kind. I can't forget his expression a while ago. I don't think I ever will. When Cyrus comes back with a mug of chamomile tea, I sip in silence. I usually take mine with honey, but this time I'm grateful he chose not to add any. I don't think I'd be able to stomach it just yet. At least I feel warm from the inside and the muscles relax for the first time in a while. Better? Yeah. And I'm fine. Before I forget my star, I got some news regarding the notes. This makes me sit up straight in attention. Really? Indeed. I'll be sending out someone tomorrow, and if it all goes well, we'll be back with positive news. Can't we just go there ourselves? Cyrus seems apologetic. It's not a very safe place to be. I'd rather you stay here. You understand, right? Yes, no, yes. Yes. I'm glad. Why? Why did that not feel quite right? Something in the back of my mind twists my words, distorting them as they leave my lips. I feel cold sweat overtake me, even as Cyrus' hands help me out of bed. How long have you had your diagnosis for? 2 months. Then you still have time. His hands brush the wrinkles of my hood, and I stay there for a while. Yeah, I think so. I'll keep you safe. For the first time, I hear something akin to desperation in his voice, a barely audible tremble. I promise. This time, I choose to believe him. Best end, Cyrus will keep you safe. Oh, that was the first chapter? Oh. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to add this to the end of the last episode so that it just makes sense. Because that was like 8 minutes. There we go. All right. Well, that was the first chapter of Obscura. I think that's the only chapter that's out at this moment. Very interesting, to say the least. Very interesting. I'm sure if I went through this again, I could see more characters. I think there's a couple other characters. I may do that off screen or not, but when the next chapter comes out, we'll see what happens, okay? So I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in another video sometime. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.